Well, hello there. You are watching OBBM Live, special DFW local business interviews to help you see how we are rising to the challenges of shelter in place, because business is still happening and we want the marketplace excited about that. We also want to make sure we're giving our local business owners really great information about the people they need to be working with to have a successful shelter in place experience. As we all know, we can feel like we are getting pulled back and slowed down, but it takes pulling that arrow all the way back, right? Put a little tension on it if you want to have a great trajectory in the future and shoot out of the gate as fast as you can. So I'm talking with Ken Pearson with Mothernode.com. And thank you so much for being here today, Ken. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
We were talking earlier about you recognizing some of the concerns, because businesses that are not usually used to working remotely are struggling to come up with a system to put it all together so that they even know that their employees are out there really getting the job done. There's a lot of missing pieces in that, a lot of moving pieces in this. What are some of the things that you're seeing over there at Mothernode?
Yeah, it's a combination of things, but just to sort of illustrate what we do is we provide a system where we're running people's businesses in the cloud. And so traditionally we have teams from 5 to 100 that are working on our platform. And so some of them have already had to deal with some of the geographical challenges because they have offices around the country and different people in different locations. And there are some people I know in our customer base that work from home for larger companies, so they're used to this home office environment. But now we're dealing with a variety of different industries that are not used to this, where they're working from home. And so you take companies like manufacturing, where you have project management and sales, account managers, receptionists, and all sorts of stuff. They're all participating in this giant ecosystem within their business. And they're used to coming into the office and working together, collaborating as teams. Distributors do the same thing. There's a variety of industries that depend on that interaction with one another on a daily basis. And now that's disappearing. And overnight, we find a lot of people are being put into foreign territories. That's employees who now have to work from home. And then we have managers who now have to manage remote teams, and business owners that have to manage remote teams. And I will tell you, there is a lot of concern. I mean, the bottom line is that the majority of the phone calls that we've received over the past week or two from our customers have been the business owners asking, how can I check to make sure that my employees are working? And, it's also tough too. I mean, the good news is that, if you really are disciplined at working from home, you do have the flexibility of creating your own hours. And that's actually important for some of those who are going to be having to take care of small children.
Well, that's just it. That's just it. I mean, it's not like you're going to have a regular work day no matter what. Everyone's working from home now, and that means everyone's got those interruptions, and we have to change how we're educating kids.
Absolutely.
Multiple, somebody made fun of me for saying multiple spouses. I have one, but either your husband or your wife, both of you occupying space, and there's all of a sudden your life is a little bit different. Just getting all that going. We've got 3 generations in our home, and I know I'm not alone in that. So a lot of times we are having to work different. So how do we know? One of the things I'm liking about what Mothernode offers is the idea that in every single aspect of your business, you play a role there. Entire companies can be run by the dashboard with with Mothernode, and so that when they're working in this way, there is that check-in, right? There is you're paying attention to how the work is getting done, and there's some accountability to it, isn't there?
Yeah, we've helped some people make some automated reports, because one of the things we actually do is produce reports that can be sent to you at any time that you want. And so what we've been seeing is that people are using these automated reports to see the kind of activity that's being generated by the various employees within their organization. But, Susan, what's really important about this, that's all great. The one thing is that, like, I'm happy that we can do our part to a certain extent. But the reality of the situation is that this is the time when leaders lead and managers manage, okay? And so it's not just about using specific technology, it's now staying in touch with your teams constantly. Okay. And so
Yeah.
in that particular instance, what I'm talking about is things like, have conference calls daily with your teams. And if that means just a 15-minute call in the morning or 30-minute call, or do it individually with folks, you need to be setting your milestones and your expectations. So the next time you speak, you have something to talk about. Where are you on XYZ that we talked about this morning? What's happened with this? We have a lot of collaborative tools within the program that people are taking advantage of, because they also have like a social media style collaboration within there where somebody could be posting notes, somebody could respond and acknowledge and things like that. So that's been beneficial and it's helped out. But it doesn't eliminate the fact that managers need to manage and leaders need to lead in a time like this. You need to stay in front of your team, because if you don't, there are going to be people that drift. And the fact of the matter is, I mean, the truth in this is that when those people call me up and have concerns about their teams not working remotely, I want to be clear about this. The one thing that's been consistent is that it hasn't been the entire team that they've been concerned about. They've been concerned about certain individuals that they've probably had a history of issues with before, that now they don't trust them remotely. Now that's another topic on its own. This is why you need to deal with those kind of people in the times where you can, but you don't want to have to be putting them in a situation where you're hoping for the best. Because as a business owner, you know this, at some point, it's going to come to the point where you're going to have to make some tough decisions. Nobody wants to let anybody go. Everybody's trying to keep people employed.
Well, and right
But
now there's an advantage to working things out.
exactly, right? I mean, the latest polls just showed that you had 6.6 million people in the unemployment line, and those are people who are willing to do a job from home no matter what it takes, right? And
That's right.
so those who are doing these jobs remotely really need to be recognize how blessed they are to still have a job, but they also have to realize that they're an important cog in the wheel, that they are there to keep things going. It's not a time to mess around and watch Dr. Phil and whatever it is that you may not be doing that's not classified as work.
A lot of people may not understand really what a CMS is, and that's just, one of the areas that you shine over there at Mothernode. So let's make sure we're educating a marketplace that may not have those automated processes in place and are not working out of the cloud. Because some people have gotten used to a system that doesn't mean it's the most advantageous system. And when we're in this scenario, here's the perfect time to really reassess how we're getting work done and consider what we might do, because time is money, and all those pieces of the workflow really contribute to huge amounts of time every single
Yeah.
week that are lost. And if we're focused on the things that are helping us be more streamlined, because I might think I'm doing everything, but my team might go, hey, wait a minute, I didn't need you to behave. I didn't need you to do it like this. If you would have done it like this, it would have been easier for me. And those things do matter, because if we can all work together and do it more efficiently, well, now we can save. I believe our last conversation, you had mentioned that you can save 20 hours a week with a better admin flow.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, and first of all, just to clarify for the audience, is that there's a ton of different kinds of CRMs out on the market, and it all matters about what it is that you're looking to get the most out of whatever it is that means to you within a CRM. So there's people who are using it, just to manage customers, their relationships, or there's people who are using them to do marketing. There's people who are using it to do sales management. There's people doing all three. And in our case, we extended beyond that, where we can run an entire business. So you're doing that where you have all the departments together: the accounting, the project managers, the account managers, order fulfilling, the sales departments, and the marketers all together. So it's nice to be able to work on a platform where everybody has that data. Now, to speak to what you're pointing to in this case is we've had a lot of our customers came to us with nothing before. And it's amazing to me that you'd be surprised that in this day and age, there's companies that are making $3, $4, $5 million out there that don't have a platform like this. And they're running their business in Excel, or everything is disjointed, and people are spending, as you mentioned, 20 hours a week, so much time re-entering data. It's taking longer to provide optimum customer service because you have to go check many places find out, where an order is or what happened to something that, an email, a conversation that may be in somebody's Outlook, but nobody else has access to that person, things like that. And what's interesting is that even though they may deem themselves a successful business, I would say anybody who's making $3, $4, $5 million a year in revenue is doing pretty well. But it's also stopping them from 8, 9, and $10 million worth of revenue because they're doing so many manual methods within their own organization, and they've hit that ceiling. They're never going to go any further. The second group of calls that we're talking about right now, the people that are not just the customers that are asking, hey, how do I see what's going on in my business? It's now a bunch of people saying, I need to get my business in the cloud. They're doing the shelter from home. They realize the pain points that they have. Some people haven't done this already, or they've looked at it, they sort of tested the waters a little bit before. So they're aware that there's a better way to do work, but now it's becoming a necessity. And I think that some of them are extremely scared, where they're taking the time. I talked to somebody not long ago that I think was a brewery and a microbrewery, and they didn't have anything, and they're suffering big time because restaurants aren't buying from them, things like that. It's very difficult, and so they're taking the time to sort of rebuild their business. And I think that that's what some business owners need to do. It's going to be difficult. Obviously, there's investments to be made in some of these adjustments and changes, but now is the time to do it. If now's not the time to do it, then I don't know when is the time.
If this can happen once, it can happen again, and we
Absolutely.
have to be prepared for that. And I think that's really important, because if you haven't taken advantage of what's going on with the SBA loans and the way our federal government and our state is coming to the rescue of local family business, small business, dive in there and take a look. You need to understand that this is a time to prepare yourself for a better situation on the other side. And the people that are taking the time to do that, it is well worth it, because people are still buying. We may be in this environment, but I'll tell you, people are still buying, and they need to know that they're getting what they need to get. And when something happens to you and you're the trusted person, you know what? If you're the best at what you do, and I hope you are, and I hope you believe that you are, because if you're not, nobody else will. That's for sure.
Right.
Somebody told me once, do I have the right as in marketing? Can I say I'm the best? And I looked at him and I smiled and I said, there is no marketing for I'm almost as good as that guy. There isn't anything like that. That doesn't work. So if you are, and you know that you're providing the very best service and the product and service in whatever way, right? Everybody's better at something than another, but we meet the needs of the community collectively, and that's important. If you miss that ability to work with that client, and they don't, and you lose that customer base, no matter even one, you've let somebody down, and now they're in danger of working with somebody who can't fulfill what you can do.
Well, you have to be ready to deliver no matter what. And, I'm going to come back to something in a moment, but something you just said, it's important to understand, like, we live in Tornado Alley, right? I mean,
Right.
we have our seasons, and pandemics aside,
Where are you, Ken?
Pardon me?
Where
I'm
are
in
you?
Great Palm. I'm in
Oh, you're
Great Palm.
Grapevine?
Yeah. So, we live in an area where there's destruction, 2 times a year, right? I mean, we usually get it towards the in springtime, which is coming, right? And then we get a lot of that. And so you need to be prepared already. I mean, we have a customer, as an example, that a long time ago, before they came on board with us, they had an office in Houston, but their main headquarters were in New Orleans, and Katrina hit. And then they had to pick up all their stuff and leave and replant it in their Houston office, servers and all sorts of stuff, just to do their daily operations. Where if you had your business in the cloud, you wouldn't think twice about that. You could be still working in the car, in the hotel, the way over to the Houston location and things like that. So it's people need to start thinking of this kind of platform, ours or anybody else's for that matter, the way they look at their operational insurance, is that this is something that, you can't sit there and say, yeah, my business sort of suffered from a fire or theft or whatever, but the insurance will take care of that, kicks in later on. What are you going to do right now to service your customers? And everybody's looking for that reassurance.
Yep, and that's the way to keep the customer base and the marketplace much more stable. They need to know they can trust on us. When we start
Absolutely.
closing up, when we start breaking down, the marketplace is unsure. That's not good for anybody in any scenario. We need to, that there's so many different ways we can convey peace into our communities with how we do business, and that workflow is a huge part of it.
Susan, I'm going to say something that nobody wants to hear, and this everybody's singing kumbaya at this point, like, hey, let's all get together and just all be friends and stuff. The fact of the matter is that companies are going to go out of business because they're not good at their operations. They're not good at supporting their clients. This is where the time comes, is where the fast eat the slow. And I think that those who are prepared or better prepared for this, whatever that means to you, that you can make it through, however that you want to define that, if you're better prepared for this, then you will probably come out of this doing very well in the long run, because a lot of your competition is going to die out, and you're going to be one of the two. Pick, make better decisions. And one thing I said to you last time when we spoke, if you want to make better decisions, here's a hint. Okay, you should run your business like it's for sale all the time. Okay, if everybody made the decisions that they would be making based on the sale of their business, they would make better decisions for their business all the time. Okay, because people think differently when they want to sell their business. What do they want to do? They want to reduce overhead and cost, and they want to increase profitability. But not everybody thinks like that all the time. But if you think like that all the time when you make a business decision, that's going to be the difference of you actually, when it comes down to selling your business, selling it for more money than you would have if you didn't think like that all through every day of the year.
Well, I can tell you, I talk to people all day long about that. There's definitely a whole community of people getting together to think about, to put, they're looking at the marketplace going, wow, these businesses are for sale. Selling these businesses is a smart place for me to be.
Yeah.
So they do know it, and that is happening right now. Ken, I thank you so much. How can we get this audience to support you as a local business owner, and how can they find you?
Well, you can reach us at mothernode.com. And also, for qualified businesses that we work with, that we hope to work with, what we're doing is we're helping people at this particular time, get through the tough times. If you're not in the cloud right now, or you're not doing something CRM related and you've been thinking about it or regretting it or whatnot, and you want to move forward, I know you have a lot of options out there. What we would do in this case is that we're actually eliminating all of our professional standard services. Okay, so there's no implementation charges, there's no training, anything that we would do to set you up front is gone. Okay, and we're doing this for qualified businesses that meet the criteria. And, so you can go to mothernode.com/COVID-19
Excellent.
and see what we're doing there. And if you're interested and you're really looking to move forward, we're going to fast track you to get you on as quickly as possible, so you can take this time to rebuild your business in the cloud while you're moving forward, and help you guys out. So whatever we can do, we will.
Excellent. Well, we'll be sharing this, and get excited about it. Reach out to mothernode.com. Now, you've also got a business group on Facebook.
Yes, we do the Dallas Business Builders Group,
Dallas
and we
Business
invite
Builders.
any business that wants to join and participate and share some of its services, especially anything that's advantageous to anybody during these difficult times. We welcome that.
Excellent, excellent. All right, friends, I hope you got a lot out of that. I took a handful of notes myself, and this is not our first conversation. So I'm excited about sharing this with you. Comment below and share this video with people that need to know what's going on in the cloud, what that looks like, what it means to have a great workflow, and reach out to Ken, because he's got stuff that you need to hear and explore, and determine for yourself if this isn't a great approach for you to grow through the next stages of your business. Until next time, this is Susan Hamilton. You're watching OBBM Live Special, DFW Local Business.
Thank you for having me.